The story begins in California in 1971. Elmo McElroy, a recent college graduate with a degree in pharmacology, happily drives his car along the shore. Hearing the police siren approaching from behind, Elmo reluctantly pulls over.
Rules are like arbitrary.
From the comical conversation, the policeman immediately realizes that Elmo has been driving under the influence of drugs and finds them shortly afterwards in his car. Elmo begs the policeman to overlook the transgression because he won't be able to work as a pharmacologist if he is arrested for drugs and charged with possession. The brutal policeman coldly dismisses Elmo and puts him under arrest.
The 60s are over, man.
30 years later, in downtown Los Angeles, Elmo works in a lab. Due to his arrest and conviction in his youth, he couldn't find work as a pharmacologist and spent many years working for various criminals, creating new illegal substances for them. Dakota Parker, a professional assassin, sneaks inside the church tower and assembles a sniper rifle, waiting for the FBI cars to arrive at the courthouse. She aims the sniper rifle at the key witness in a federal case against her employer and guns him down with a precise shot. She quickly escapes using a rope attached to the church bell, leaving a confused priest to wonder who rang the bell and what just happened. As she drives away in her red Mustang, she throws away her wig and calls her boss. Dakota works for the drug lord known as the Lizard, who comically wears shoes with pictures of lizards on them. During the meeting with his business associates, the Lizard proudly announces to them that Elmo, his leading chemist, created a revolutionary new substance, trying to persuade them to buy it. Rushed by his potential buyers, who want to talk to Elmo about the substance, the Lizard gets increasingly irritated by his chemist's inability to arrive at the meeting in time.
Go find him! Now!
Meanwhile, Elmo moves out of his house and allows people from the neighborhood to take all his stuff for free as he's not coming back, so he doesn't need it. He is comically wearing the traditional Scottish kilt, hinting to everybody his surname is Scottish. Elmo takes the limo and leaves. At the meeting, the business associates find out that the drugs at the table are fake. The enraged Lizard calls Elmo to find out what's going on, only to realize in terror that it's a setup. The entire building blows up, taking Lizard and his buyers along with it. Later, Elmo happily listens to the voicemail on his phone, in which the Lizard curses him right before the explosion.
Rest in peace.
But it turns out that Lizard has survived. Enraged by Elmo's unexpected betrayal, he calls Dakota and puts out a contract on his life. Dakota owes Lizard a lot of money because of her gambling problem, so she reluctantly accepts the job once Lizard agrees to clear her debt and give her additional $250,000 bonus. Before going after Elmo, Dakota was instructed by Lizard to first eliminate Leopold Durant, a notorious crime boss in Liverpool in the United Kingdom who was supposed to be at the meeting along with other buyers but didn't show up for some reason. So Lizard assumes that Durant and Elmo have conspired against him. Both Dakota and Elmo take the same flight to the United Kingdom. She recognized him as soon as she saw him on the plane, but Elmo doesn't seem to know who she is. While Elmo is sleeping, an annoying kid tries to steal his candy.
Spit it out. Spit it out now.
In the United Kingdom, Durant sent Felix de Souza to greet Elmo at Manchester Airport. He is accompanied by Frederick, his friend, and Lawrence, Durant's chemist, who must verify the quality of the product. Felix is a big fan of Liverpool Football Club. He is looking forward to attending the game between Liverpool and Manchester United. Durant promised to give him tickets, but only after he delivers Elmo from the airport. But before going to the airport, Felix decides to stop at a pub in Manchester, despite Lawrence's insistence that they can't be late. Being a big fan of Liverpool, Felix walks inside the pub full of fanatical Manchester United supporters and comically insults their club, proudly showing off his red shirt with the Liverpool logo. He fires a rocket flare inside the pub and sets it on fire. Felix runs away to his mates in the car, while enraged Manchester fans chase him as he flees. Arriving at the airport, Felix realizes that during the ordeal at the pub, they comically forgot Lawrence, Durant's chemist, who came out of the car with Felix but didn't come back. He tells Frederick to go back to the pub and take care of him. Felix proceeds inside the airport. A gang of street hooligans intend to rob Felix because they heard from Durant's men that he will be carrying drugs. They try to attack him from behind, but Felix easily deflects their attack and threatens them with a pistol. Elmo arrives at the airport. Detective Virgil Kane and his partner Arthur heard the rumors about the magic formula and Elmo's scheduled arrival in the country, but they only have his vague description and can't find him in the crowd, so Elmo leaves undisturbed. Elmo notices that a strange woman from the plane is following him. Felix greets him as he walks toward the entrance.
Welcome to England.
Elmo is annoyed as he was promised to meet their chemist.
Where's Lawrence?
You heard heard the man. Where's Lawrence?
It turns out that Frederick misunderstood what Felix said earlier and had the chemist eliminated after he picked him up at the pub. The three men drive to a meeting with Durant, who is enraged by the unbelievable stupidity of his men and promises to give Elmo a different chemist to work with. Meanwhile, Dakota meets with Iki, a local gun dealer, who provides her with various weapons she will need for the assassination of Elmo and Durant. Felix introduces Elmo to fish and chips, a famous British national dish.
More like a national disaster.
The three men arrive at the hotel and proceed upstairs for the meeting with Durant. At the meeting, Elmo presents to Durant and his men his newest creation, a synthetic drug called POS-51. Turns out Elmo cleverly disguised the drugs by making them look like ordinary colored candy and putting it in an empty bag from the real candy. That's why during the flight, he was insistent that the kid doesn't swallow his candy. Since they look like regular colored candy, he was able to pass them through customs without any problems. The substance is very cheap to produce, and it's 51 times as potent as other drugs. That's why it has the number 51 in the name. Pudsey, Durant's chemist, confirms the validity of Elmo's claims and recommends they make a deal. Meanwhile, across the street, Dakota aims her sniper rifle through the window at Elmo, but she stops because Felix is blocking the shot. She recognized Felix, clearly having a history with him earlier. Durant is reluctant to pay Elmo the $20 million they agreed upon and only gives him $1 million as a down payment until he is sure about the product. Elmo rejects these conditions and tries to leave when suddenly someone knocks on the door. Expecting an ambush, Felix opens the door and grabs the person on the other side, only to find out that it's an old room service lady. In the last possible moment, Lizard calls Dakota and cancels the hit on Elmo. He instructs her to bring him Elmo alive because he needs the formula that he has in his head. Instead, he orders her to kill everybody else in the room. She opens fire and guns down Durant and his men, who frantically shoot back at her but can't hit her. Elmo takes cover behind a chair and survives unharmed. Felix also survived the violent ordeal but received a minor wound in the leg. Elmo and Felix try to leave the hotel, but the gang of hooligans, who are also after the drug, intercept them in the lobby, so the fight ensues. Elmo easily puts them on the ground using his golf club. Felix and Elmo get in the car and quickly leave the scene as the police are on their way. Detective Kane and his partner Arthur arrive at the hotel. Arthur gets out and is almost run over by Elmo. Enraged, Kane recklessly drives backwards and starts chasing Elmo, who tries to leave through the crowded one-way streets, causing multiple car crashes in the process.
Watch out! Watch out!
Dakota steals a bike from one of the hooligans and joins the pursuit as well. Eventually, Elmo and Felix stop their car in a narrow alley and try to hide from the police, but Kane finds them anyway and blocks the exit. In an upcoming game of chicken, both Elmo and Kane start accelerating towards each other, betting the other one would chicken out. In the most deranged manner, Elmo continues to accelerate all the way to the end while screaming, so Kane reluctantly reverses to save his life. Once he is out of the alley, Kane is immediately hit by an incoming truck, so Elmo and Felix happily drive away while laughing. As they drive away, Elmo notices Dakota on the bike and remembers that he saw her earlier on the plane and at the airport. He quickly deduces that she is an assassin sent after him by Lizard. Police cars go by, but for some reason don't pay any attention to Elmo's car, which is quite odd considering that it's a wrecked car that is quickly driving away from the accident. Felix and Elmo lost the cops, but Dakota is still after them, so Elmo accelerates towards the garbage barge on a river and jumps onto it. Felix is annoyed with Elmo. Not only did he destroy his Jaguar, but almost cost him his life earlier. Felix notices Dakota looking at them from the coast, mocking their escape. He reveals to Elmo that she is his ex-girlfriend. Needing his help, Elmo promises Felix $1 million if he can help him make a deal with someone else in this town. The two get to know each other, looking forward to working together. Arthur and the policeman examine the hotel room where the meeting with Durant took place. Kane tells him to have the pills analyzed in the lab. It turns out that Durant has survived the shootout. Kane orders Arthur to deliver Durant to him, even though the criminal is near death and needs medical attention. It becomes perfectly clear that Kane is a dirty cop. He tortures the wounded Durant and demands 50% of his deal with Elmo. Having no other choice, the mobster reluctantly agrees to Kane's terms. Arthur tells the crane operator to put him down, but he must have misunderstood him because he proceeds to crush Durant with a container.
You really have excelled yourself this time, haven't you, Arthur?
Looking for Felix, Dakota comes to see his mother. Felix and Elmo contact Iki, the gun dealer from earlier, who also has a nightclub through which he runs his drug empire, and set up a meeting with him, intending to sell him Elmo's formula for $20 million. They buy an old car from garbage haulers and drive it to the chemist shop to acquire the ingredients necessary for the drug's manufacture, all of which are ordinary pharmaceuticals, easily accessible by everyone. Suddenly, the gang of hooligans arrived again. They point their guns at Felix and Elmo. The hooligans coerce Elmo to make the drugs for them in their lab.
In my lab?
You got a lab?
Yeah, of course.
Since Elmo needs the lab to produce the drugs for his meeting with Iki, he pretends to go along with the gang leader's demand. The so-called lab turned out to be an abandoned animal testing facility that was taken by the gang, but it satisfies Elmo's needs nonetheless. While the hooligans yell and jump like crazy, Elmo uses the equipment to manufacture the substance. He cleverly makes 2 batches of the drug, one blue and one red, and presents them to the hooligans. Elmo claims the red ones are the stronger version. He tricks the hooligans into taking the red pills. Elmo reveals to Felix that the red pills are in fact a powerful laxative. When the laxative takes effect, incapacitating the hooligans, Elmo and Felix take blue pills, which are the real drug, and leave the building, comically throwing toilet paper to the hooligans. They steal the truck and drive to Iki's nightclub. In the nightclub, they go through the crowd of people dancing to rave music and proceed upstairs where they are greeted by Iki.
Mr. McElroy, welcome.
Elmo stays in the room to negotiate with Iki while Felix goes downstairs because he saw Dakota in the crowd and wants to talk to her. The two get together and reminisce about the old times while holding each other at gunpoint. Elmo explains to Iki that the beautiful part of POS 51 is that it's made from ingredients that are completely legal and can be obtained easily, even in bulk. At first, Iki jokes around, annoying Elmo.
You give me the money, I give you the formula. We clear?
Impressed by Elmo's resolve, Iki agrees to the deal. Meanwhile, the policemen arrive at the club and start looking around. Attracted to each other, Felix and Dakota start kissing. She tricks him, locking him to the counter with handcuffs, and proceeds upstairs where she aims a gun at Elmo. Felix shoots the handcuffs, disrupting the party and alerting the policeman to his presence. While Kane and the policeman question Iki about the blue pills, Dakota takes Elmo hostage and leaves the building in an elevator going to the roof while holding Elmo at gunpoint. Lizard calls Dakota and talks to Elmo, revealing that he survived the explosion and is on his way to the United Kingdom to get the formula and have his revenge. Dakota and Elmo proceed to the roof. Elmo suddenly attacks her. Dakota almost falls down, but Elmo grabs her hand. He gives her a choice: either help him and live or refuse and die.
I'm only gonna make this offer once.
Having no other option, Dakota reluctantly agrees, so Elmo pushes her onto the ladder, after which the two start climbing down. But before they can leave, Kane arrives and aims his gun at Elmo. However, he gets distracted, so Elmo knocks him down easily. Felix was arrested during the events in the club. Kane threatens him with serious charges and tries to coerce him to cooperate. He wants Felix to let him in on the deal with Iki, the same way he tried to meddle in the deal with Durant before.
Are you gonna help me to help you?
Felix pretends to go along with it, but as soon as Kane lets him out, he manages to steal keys to an expensive luxury sports car from Iki's lawyer and quickly drive away from the precinct in the car before they can react. Felix arrives at his home and walks inside. He is quite surprised to discover that Elmo and Dakota are sitting at the table in his kitchen, talking like good friends about sports.
I missed something.
Elmo is willing to give Dakota $1 million for her help, a much better deal than the $250,000 Lizard offered her earlier. The three discuss their situation and agree to work together. Elmo calls Iki and sets up a meeting in a private viewing box at the Liverpool-Manchester United football match at Anfield, the very same one that Felix was so eager to attend earlier. Dakota accompanies them, but stays outside. The three are unaware that Kane knows about their plans and followed them in the stadium covertly. Once inside, Felix is overjoyed to watch the match from the comfort of the luxurious private viewing box. Despite Iki's festive attitude, Elmo is eager to finish his business with him as soon as possible and rushes him to get the money. Iki brings out $20 million in bonds, after which Elmo provides him with the formula for POS 51. He cleverly hid the formula inside an ordinary postcard and revealed it by burning the postcard with his lighter. In a sudden twist, Dakota breaks into the room and aims her gun at them.
I never was one to be too sentimental.
Lizard is right behind her, revealing that Dakota has been loyal to him all along. Lizard kills Iki and orders Elmo to hand over the formula. Elmo defiantly refuses and burns down the postcard, daring Lizard to shoot him.
Go ahead, kill me. Put me out of my misery.
To Lizard's dismay, Elmo reveals that the drug is a mere placebo, and POS stands for power of suggestion. There never was a magical formula. It's just a con scheme. He also reveals that the cocktail Lizard drank earlier contained an explosive substance Elmo hid there. so Lizard has about 12 seconds to live. Suddenly, Kane interrupts them, also trying to get his cut of the deal, just before the explosive ingested by the Lizard takes effect, killing the Lizard and wounding Kane in the process. Arthur and the policeman arrest Kane while Felix, Elmo, and Dakota leave undisturbed. Elmo kept his word. As agreed earlier, he provided each of them with $1 million, giving them a chance to start a new life together. It is revealed that Dakota and Felix put their criminal past behind them and settled down together, but only after watching the Liverpool-Manchester United game. As for Elmo, he planned all these events right from the start. The kilt he was wearing this whole time wasn't just a joke, but a serious commentary on his part. He used the money he got from Iki to buy the Scottish Highland castle that belonged to the McElroy family, because his ancestors were slaves that belonged to a slave owner named McElroy, giving Elmo and many generations of his family the surname McElroy. So now he proudly claims the castle for himself as an act of revenge against what was done to his people. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.